So far, so good, but we've only just played the titles. Thank you for joining me, as always, here on ShineCast. It's the 27th of November, 2020, as I say it. Again, you could be watching it any time in the future, so it's possibly another date, if not certainly another time. How are you doing? I've been doing quite good. It's been an interesting 7 days since I was last here. It's weekly at the moment, is ShineCast. And of course, that means at the moment we are joining our friend in Japan, Mr. Jimmie Heaven. He's standing by right now, so we better join him without further ado. Jimmie, hello to you.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are.
Or good day. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why it's just best to say hello because yeah, there's too many complications, particularly when you're broadcasting or even just uploading videos on demand online. You never know what time of day, and as I say, how far in the future people are going to be watching if they're not joining us on the live. So how's your week been overall?
Well, we had a 3-day weekend. Last week was a 3-day weekend. So I took a trip to Kyoto, the city. We can see the picture behind me.
Yes.
Really crowded. I mean, ridiculously crowded. Even with Corona, didn't matter. After the weekend was over, some cities in Japan started announcing that they're going to try to, slow down travel, bringing in tourism for a while.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been stop and go for the past few months. They let you go and then they stop you. They let you go and they stop you. But yeah. But I went. There was a lot of people. It was almost too crowded. Yeah. So
yeah, which
that's
is crazy in a pandemic situation. I know. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but I don't feel it. So I mean, sure, everybody's wearing a mask.
Well, for almost a month now, we're coming to the end of it, but we've been in a sort of a second lockdown. It's been called, as we've been saying recently on here in the UK. But on the 2nd of December, that finishes, and they've just announced what's happening after that. So we have a tier system returning, but different tiers, and it means that some places are still going to be kept relatively locked down, and yeah, they're also trying to make sure that people can have a good festive season, certainly for a few days in and around the Christmas dates. But it's just letting the genie out of the bottle again. It's this up and down thing. Again, there's not much else they can do. But we knew that in advance. Even when the current lockdown started, the questions were like, well, what's going to happen on the date that changes and ends? And it's either going to be a case of we continue locking down effectively, whether you call it a lockdown or not, or we're going to just let everyone just roam free and change the rules like that. But that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. I feel sorry for the people that are greatly affected by it, but I'm lucky. I really haven't been affected negatively by it this year at all. I mean, I I've switched apartments. I moved to the city, which is more dangerous than a little bit of the countryside I was living in. So,
hey,
but I worked
over here, talking of the city and the countryside and different places like that, when it comes to the numbers of people living and the size of where you're living in terms of well, as I say, town, city, village. Over here, the property prices have started to increase significantly and the prices in the cities have started to fall already, because there's a lot of people worried that where there used to be commerce and businesses and offices, as we said,
you know what? I don't think that's what it is. Reading the future a little bit. So now, this is something that should have happened 10, 15 years ago. Yep. But, people had to be forced into this telecommuting, teleworking, and we were able to work at home. It should have been like, doctors, consultations, lawyers consultations, office consultations. So many things could have been done online. It took so long for us to move there. And finally moving. Now people can move to the country. They can come to the office, or they're going to have a meeting. They can come once a week to the city, so they can live in the country, and that it takes to be expected. It's just a little bit of projection.
People are realizing there is more quality. Some people I've been listening to, even over the last few days since we last spoke, I think one person was ringing and reminding us that he used to travel into work 2 hours one way, for 5 days a week. and so it's 4 hours of his life he has back now, and he can look what he could. 4 hours is like half a day's work, you know. Or even if you want to sleep a little longer, spend more time with your family, do things other than your day job. Yeah, it's a bit like, I know, when computers were introduced and our smartphones and other digital devices, we were told that, hey, work is going to be so much easier and it's going to take the load. No, it doesn't take the load down. They give you more work to do. That's what happens. But here, I think on this occasion where you've got more hours to yourself, you're going to be really choosing now carefully. You know, if someone tries to load you up with 4 hours more work for the same amount of money, certainly you're going to be thinking twice and negotiating.
No, you know what? That system has to die too. That system has to die too. This was it a pay based on time is going to have to die too. In certain was it a kinds of work, it might be a little bit different, but I think people are going to be paid for the quality of work.
And quality of task,
the actual task you're getting, you get paid for. So it's not going to be about this time where this, I pay you 8 hours, so I'm going to try to squeeze 10 hours out of you. No, that era is over, or it should be over. And for of course for retail, service jobs, it's a little bit different.
It sounds like it's a work in progress at the moment, but I think it
is. It should have started. This work in progress should have started a long time ago.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Certainly, this working online. I mean, they use the Z word at the moment for video calls, but there are other options available, such as Skype. Okay, we'll say Zoom because I now mentioned the opposition, whatever, and FaceTime and WhatsApp and any other video.
I use them all.
Yeah,
I use them all.
Yeah. No, I get that, but my point is, suddenly it's become really cool and trendy and just necessary for people to use the word Zoom. We've been doing it, us people working in this area.
I've been like, the funny thing is, like, well, I know I've been talking to you for like this for many years.
Yeah.
And I've been using Skype. Before that was Messenger, and I would try to do video calls with people 10, 15 years ago, and nobody wanted to do video calls. And I was like, why not? And I've always been prepared. I've always had my setup where I'm ready to do this, right?
Exactly. But a lot of people, it's just like, oh, I don't want to be seen on camera. But this is the same as the businesses that I've been speaking to. And I'm going to keep this brief. I'm not going to go off on a tangent here too much. Yeah. Businesses where I say, go online, use video, promote yourself, let people see who you are, learn who you are, because they're going to love you. And therefore, they're going to want to, support you, buying your products and everything. People are like, yeah, but I don't want to be seen on video. Yeah, hold on a minute. But you own a frigging store in a high street, main street, where anyone can walk in. You don't know who's going to walk in, and you're quite prepared to for someone to walk in, anyone, and speak to that person, yet you're not prepared to speak to anyone online. And it's a psychological thing, because initially they're like, well, certainly if they're doing a presentation online, you can't see the audience, and psychologically, because people haven't had that conversation with themselves, which is, why do I have an issue? People on television presenters for years have not had that problem. The newscaster doesn't sit there and go, oh, I feel like jelly at the moment. I'm trembling because I can't see the face of the person watching me announcing today's top stories. So come on, it's a quick conversation.
Even that is disappearing. I don't know if you, last week, I think Metallica had a live show. They had a live show that you could pay for. Online live show. It was acoustic set, and I didn't join it, but I saw their setup, and basically they're in a room, they're playing live, and the four walls are covered in screens, and with little like honeycombs with people's faces from everybody that's watching around them. Yeah. And the drummer, Lars, or anybody, I guess, in the band could just say during a break, could say, they could see the name, and the name is underneath your face. He goes, okay, well, let's ask you a question. Let's talk to you. And
Amanda, what track do you want us to play next? Right.
And then the next person, and they're surrounded by all these faces on screens all around.
When did that ever happen at a live gig where there was such a crowd? You could see more people there, but you knew less about them, and it just often, this is just different. You can't necessarily compare it. And you're not supposed to, and that's it. We're we've gone into a change, and it's interesting you mentioned that, because again, yeah, we had something similar over in the UK over the last couple of weeks, where there was an event, and yeah, you could see the audience digitally rather than them being allowed to be together because of social distancing and everything. But you know what? Listen, vaccines been announced now. We've got 3 vaccines apparently sort of rolling out over the next few weeks and months, and by spring, summer next year, we will be starting to have less restrictions, I think, on our lives, and returning to some sort of normality. By the way, you mentioned live music. As of the 2nd of December, certainly in one of the tiers here in the UK, as I say, these different tiers of restrictions, you're going to be allowed to have live events starting up again, which is really good news for the industry, because it's been decimated. That word has never been used so much in the past. The word decimation over the last, it's getting on for a year pretty quickly now. The whole industry it's just almost non-existent now, entertainment. But yeah, we're going to, hopefully be seeing a big return to that. And they haven't had any support, really minimal support from the government when it comes to financially keeping them afloat, you know. So, and theatres are going to be back up and running as well, hopefully before too long, because they're being given the green light, the go ahead after the 2nd of December as well. Social distancing and all about being sensible needs to be, you know, ensured. But hey, we're on the road to this recovery. It's a long road with the debt that all these nations are in. And once again, so I don't know how is it in Japan regarding the economy and being in debt at the moment.
Well, of course, people are suffering. I mean, there are people suffering, but as I said, I've been very lucky where I work online to begin with at this moment in time in my life right here. So,
all right, cool. Well, anyhow, a message for you there, Jimmie, and for me, but I've seen it there. Thank you very much to the Buckeye State in USA. And it's a good opportunity to say to everyone watching from the USA live or on the replay, happy Thanksgiving 2020. That was, 24 hours ago easily now, as I say this. But right now, of course, Jimmie, we've got to worry about, BFM. I think I mentioned earlier on before we went live. Yeah, it's Black Friday, and that matters. So what is going on online right now, I think, is something that's never been seen before in terms of the amount of money being spent this year, because of course there's so many people who are new to buying online because of the pandemic, that this Black Friday here, what is it now in the USA? Yeah, it's getting underway. Certainly, it's as I speak now, local time here, GMT, is just after 3:30 p.m. So I mean, on the east coast of the USA now, what is it? 10:30, just after. Yeah, that's right. So there's lots of pennies being spent using Visa, MasterCard, and other currencies.
It was not electronic money anymore right now, is it?
Well, they're probably using things like Bitcoin, you know, all these other financial options. But it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, day for people spending money so far in the history of retail, certainly online. We actually had, by the way, just while I mentioned that, on a downside, it's called Arcadia in the UK, which is one of the biggest. Well, it's a company that has the biggest portfolio of stores. One of them, I think, for example, is called, I think New Look might be one of theirs. Not sure. Topshop, I believe, is one. It's called, and they're in big financial trouble. They've been on the decline for some time. It's no big surprise to me when I heard that they're in sort of rescue talks. I heard that on the news this morning. So
if they can't adapt to the new style, they deserve to die.
Well, they've started to grow their online presence and the way they sell now online.
Great.
and focus on it more. But you know what? I think that it's like after the horse has bolted, as they say. It's too little, too late. I mean, the amount, the millions and billions per day that Mr. Jeff Bezos is making at the moment, it's
not only that. Wish.com, you got Alibaba. There's a lot of them out there. It's just you got to give a lot more bang for your buck these days. You got to give surface.
Remember, going shopping was always about the experience. I've always said that. I always will say that because it's true. And the browsing, and I think now that you've got to be, again, bit smarter than just selling online and offering goods online, just that one item. But people want the package. They want, to let people, again, have a chat with people online, either just upload a video to YouTube or go one better, and I think it's necessary, have videos like this where you can interact with people. Facebook Live is easy to do. It doesn't need to be long, like we end up being on here for 90 minutes or so. Just a quick video to say hi. I've said this before. Hi, it's a new day, it's a new week.
They're starting to do trade shows online now.
Oh, I know that. And expos.
Starting to do trade shows. That means that, when you would actually go to a big event where there was people from the same sector would come in, show off their goods, their new items for this year.
Mm-hmm.
They're showing it online. Every salesperson has got their own link. You can go and talk to them live, and they'll tell you about the product, and you can make a deal right there.
Yeah, exactly. I've been saying this for years to people. Again, one of the things we're going to be moving into when the expos physically start up again, certainly, is, I've always said this, right? You're running an expo, okay, for the average stand and hold it there, a trader there, let's say it's $5,000 for a couple of days at an event for a big, big splash out on a nice stand to advertise your business, $5,000, right? That's great because they have 50,000 people walking through the place over the 2 days. But wait a minute. Just for a small amount extra, which is live streaming, you can then say to your customer, you are the expo organizer, producer, but you can say to your customer, wait a minute, you know what, for that $5,000, because it's difficult these days to convince to someone and to persuade them to be at your expo rather than the other one in 2 weeks' time in a different town about 20 miles away. So what you do is you can say to the person, hold on a minute, you're spending $5,000 and you're getting 50,000 people coming along here. But actually, we're going to give you a 2-minute interview on our live stream as well. That means that technically and potentially, you're going to be out there to infinite number of people. You're going to get a copy of that video at the end of it, the 2-minute or even 10 minutes, ideally, or 11 minutes. You know what I'm saying there, Jimmy? And there you go. You can stick it on your website, your social media. It's invaluable and priceless.
That's where the work has to go into, the online presence.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So again, a lot of people are getting online fatigue at the moment when it comes to watching certain things because they have no option at the moment because live events and presentations they have been put on hold certainly until now. But once they return, it will even itself out again. And online, so again, psychologically, yes, sure. If you're just down the street from something that's taking place and you could usually be there, then it's a bit more of a, I don't, why should I have to watch it online? But, if we were having to watch like a fashion show now in Los Angeles because we can't be there, we can't be flying backwards and forwards every day from Japan or London and England to the USA, for example. So then you're okay to watch it online because you haven't got a choice, kind of thing, So yeah.
No, anyway, not a choice. It's an opportunity to watch it.
Exactly.
In this situation, we wouldn't have been able to watch it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you, if there was a fashion show in the city of Santa Monica, the geography, so do I, and it's only a few miles away from Hollywood. I don't know what 30.
That's a show in California. Is that where they're going to have fashion shows?
Well, as an example, okay, New York. It's New York. Where do you want to go? In Manhattan,
New York. I
right?
want to go to Paris. I want to go to London, but I don't know about California. Sneakers and shorts.
Just as an example. So, all right, it's in Bryant Park, rather. That's to give it its correct name. Next to the Central Library in New York City. They usually have part of New York Fashion Week there. But wait a minute, you live in Brooklyn. Now, at the moment, under if you had rules in place for the pandemic like we have here in London and the rest of the UK, you wouldn't necessarily, unless it's essential travel, we wouldn't even be able to put the event on as a producer, let alone go there as part of the audience, right? So you live in Brooklyn, you got to get to central Manhattan usually, but on this occasion, you have to watch it online because that's the only way it's made available. In your mind, you understand it's just like, oh, why have I got to do that? And you're fatigued because everything local you've got to, when you could usually be there, you've still got to watch online. Whereas in your mind, if you're watching London Fashion Week from Brooklyn, there wouldn't be that kind of psychological battle like I don't want to watch it because I shouldn't have to. You'd have
to. Get a better TV.
Excuse me? You get a better seat. Oh, no. That's the same football, soccer games. You've hit it there as well. So you do. You see, it's different. Exactly. Yeah, but the one thing as well with live events and networking is if you're having a drink, socializing with people and chilling out, as you like to say, and
cheers.
Yeah,
cheers.
Exactly. I was coming to that.
Drink. I'm the only one drinking.
Right. But you see, that's another part of it that you can't necessarily get online, but you know what? You actually can. If you think ahead as a producer and an event organizer, you could, for example, say, like, we're going to do a cooking program next week. So these are the ingredients you need in advance, and we're going to do it together. And then we can afterwards look at how it's turned out for everyone. Okay, well, you're not going to stay online for an hour necessarily after you've put the recipe together, all right, and shoved it in the oven. But what you can do is certainly say to people, we'll all come back here in an hour. And you can enjoy the freaking meal together as well, and tell everyone what you really think of what you cooked. Well, and you might think, well, most people aren't going to diss and put down what they cooked, but no, you would just want to know, do people think they could have done a bit better? And you know, it's all about being creative and thinking out the box, and it's all doable. And also, no one
in the box.
No one's going to criticize you for being experimental as well, and that's a huge thing. A lot of people are getting a bit hesitant about trying something new because someone else is going to criticize it, and it's going to go wrong. But the great thing about things going wrong is it's one step closer to the time it goes right. Just like job interviews, you know, everyone's nervous. It don't matter.
Doesn't matter. That's what you have a middle finger for.
Well, yeah, okay. I'm gonna not make any comment there. You've clearly made your view known to the world. I just have. Hey, how many fingers have I got up there, Jimmy?
3.
Okay.
I thought it was a quick.
Too
question.
Slow. You asked somebody. Come on, how many have I got up there, Jimmy? Now
5.
And of course, I'm very shocked. Actually, I'm taken aback that you did get it wrong, because of course I've only got 4 fingers up here, Jimmy.
A thumb isn't a finger.
The fun isn't that strange? Now, isn't that strange, right? You got your 4 fingers and a thumb on a hand, but on your feet you have 5 toes. I wonder if there's a culture around the world where you only have there's a name for the 4 toes, you know, the average size, and then the big toe has got a completely different name. Like we have a name thumb instead of fingers. Isn't that a good one? Hey, Brenda was saying earlier on, it was a great idea, by the way, what we were talking about.
Yeah. But I thought. Well, wait. I'm trying to think of the name of the toes.
Yeah, we've moved on a bit, but sorry, Brenda's remembering that I have a one-trick pony when it comes to baking, and that's my cheesecake, and we'll worry about that another time. But thank you for the personal reminder there, indeed. Yeah. I mean, for example, you would have told us if in Japanese, you know, you call your big toe a different name to the other toes. But isn't it again interesting? So we have big toe, we have little toe, and what are the ones in between?
I don't know, because when I learned when I was a kid, it was like one piggy, one little piggy went to the market, and then one little piggy went to the store.
Yes.
And then one little piggy.
Roast beef.
There you go.
And this little piggy had none.
There you go. I thought they were little piggies.
Isn't it fascinating? Now you've picked up on something that I would never have thought about, I don't think, or remembered to as a topic. But how comes the little piggy, it's okay for the piggy to go and eat roast beef? Now, did the cow eat bacon sandwiches? I mean, it's just not fair, you know. Come on, what's going on here? Oh my goodness me! Never thought about that before, but there you are. That's what 2 heads are better than one.
There is names for your toes. Here we go.
Okay.
The first toe.
Yes.
Known as the hallux, big toe, great toe.
I remember that. Yeah, this is the medical terminology, though, isn't it? That's the thing.
The innermost toe, the second toe, the long toe, pointer toe, the third toe is the middle toe or long toe, depending on what your genetic makeup is. And the 4th toe is the forettoe and index toe.
Right.
You guys totally got it wrong. What do you mean you got it wrong?
I'm glad I wasn't saying anything. I knew you wouldn't miss that one. Right. Yeah. We're being told here, for those that are just listening only, we got it wrong. So maybe we'll get an explanation as to.
No, wait a second. Little Piggy went to the market. Little Piggy stayed home. Little Piggy had roast beef. One Little Piggy had none. One Little Piggy, the last Little Piggy cried wee all the way home. Isn't that the
I think
it
depends what
we got it wrong. What are you talking about?
His cousin was shouting out poop all the way home. Did about wee.
What do you mean?
Yeah. We definitely got the piggies wrong, apparently, says Brenda.
Oh, no. I think we got it right. Unless she's got it. Where's Brenda again? Ohio?
Planet Earth, Ohio, the Buckeye State. Absolutely.
Ohio, maybe Ohio's got was it a set of piggies?
Well, you know what? If anyone else thinks that we've got it wrong, they can always give us their view directly and voice it. And joining the conversation on the screen right now, any browser, it's shinecast.live/join. And you can, either challenge us or just politely tell us that we've got it wrong, or not so politely, but not rudely. And that's how you can join us. Any browser, and we'd love to have you interacting. That's what this is all about, which is why we're not on traditional television and radio. It's not because we couldn't get the job, right, Jimmy? It's because we want it interactive, so we got to be online.
There you did it, Jimmy. You got it. That's right. I know I got it.
Yeah. Well, he got it.
Because I didn't finish it, because we didn't finish it. That's why. Well, it's been a long time since I've actually said that out loud.
Oh well, because that's how you get to sleep at night. You're there just saying to yourself, you had to market.
You don't count pigs in bed. You count sheep.
Yeah, I mean, it depends actually. I understand that if you're a vegetarian or a vegan, it will be avocados potentially. I think, from what I understand, but again, maybe someone's watching now.
You're not eating the sheep. You're just counting them.
Well, I don't know. You see, some people might be just imagining that they're jumping into the abattoir. I don't know, but oh boy! Right, what was the next comment there? You were just about to read to yourself.
There's another version that we can say on here. I think she's trying to say we cannot say on here.
Well, that means that there's been a typo and someone else has got something wrong. Then perish the thought. Oh my goodness!
We'll talking about the pornographic version. No idea.
Sorry, Jimmy. I'd have to take my headphones off and
toe fetish, foot fetish, toe fetish.
Right, really? Right.
I'm guessing.
Now, can we just, while we're waiting for possibly some sort of feedback from viewers as to what's going on here, it could even get out of hand, you never know. But is there a correction possibly to the last comment that was?
Yes, we cannot.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Right. Dear, somebody else has been drinking. Speaking of which, that's what we're coming to now. We want to see, please, what are you drinking right now, Jimmy? What is it that we can be educated about? Got to have a look at the bottle here.
What is it? This is it's a Merlot Cabernet.
Okay.
What is this? Fucking.
Oh, hold the bottle there. You look extra good, cool through the bottle. Now we could see your face through the bottle. Hold the bottle to the camera a little bit. No, and as you were. Now you just sit back as you were, and as you were, and put the bottle a little more forward towards the camera lens. More toward, interesting. That was just your head was just. You get
there you go. French wine. Inexpensive French wine.
Well, inexpensive is very. It's relative to our circumstances and circumstantials wherever we are, because I wouldn't have thought French wine is so cheap there in Japan. I mean, everything like that has to be imported, and Japan, I think it can be a bit pricey, right?
I think I can get whiskey probably cheaper here than you can get it in England. I bet.
It depends what whiskey, I guess. I mean,
well, they drink so much and they import so much.
You're still trying to get your Newcastle Brown Ale, aren't you? Newcastle Brown Ale.
They don't have, I think they just don't. They aren't familiar with it and they wouldn't drink it. Like as far as good, was it beers or ales? I don't think they're really into or they don't understand it yet. What do you call it? What's it called? I forgot. No, small breweries. What was it called?
Oh, microbreweries.
Microbreweries. They're not really into the microbrewery thing yet. It's still like 2 or 3 big, companies dominating the market. Just with different names.
Newcastle Brown Ale, it really has. It's been around for quite a while. Long enough. I mean, it's known around the world, obviously. you know about it. I do know it is available in Japan, though. Maybe not in your particular, you know, few square miles.
It's a rare thing. It's I'm saying it's rare. It's very rare. Okay.
More so than
my favorite beer of all time has got to be Grolsch.
Really?
Very hard to get Grolsch too.
Isn't Grolsch Belgium or from that area? Dutch. Yeah, right.
It's like the real Heineken. Like Heineken is like the fake Grolsch.
Can you buy Grolsch there in Japan?
Barely, but you can. I can.
Right. So it's easier for you to obtain that than it is for your Newcastle brown.
Yeah, but it probably costs just as much as this bottle of wine here for a bottle of Grolsch.
Any day. It went quiet there. That was because anyone just listening, Jimmie did have a sip of his drink, and I chose to just pause there for a moment too. Hey, now we're going to change the subject completely, going back to well, what we wanted to discuss on this broadcast today, this program. So I bring everyone as an exclusive, kind of, in the sense that, well, certainly haven't seen this here before on ShineCast, and this is all about connecting with something different. You know, wherever you are, if you're in Japan, connecting over here with the West, me and all things what is going on over here, but also I would say more so with respect of the English-speaking territories, connecting with you, Jimmie, in Japan, because there's, you see, plenty of places can you buy English products, see English signs, you know, UK, USA, even across Europe, you know, it's in French, it's in Spanish, it's in Italian, but also translated into English. But you can't exactly go to Switzerland too easily and go into a high street, main street, or a restaurant and expect everything to be translated in Japanese or into Russian, well, you know, maybe more so Russian than Japanese anyway. But truly, if you want things Japanese, you've got to go to Japan. Jimmie's going to bring us some of Japan very well imminently, because I know you want to see this sort of stuff, people. You know, it really is not so easy to find online for one good reason. Again, a lot of us over in the West, certainly, or Australia for that matter, which is a bit further east and certainly south than the West.
It's in the same area. But anyway, let's get on with it.
But the point is, I would suggest not many.
Well, let's watch it get out of the way.
Japanese than Japanese speaking English. Did I say
okay,
that?
Here. Look, this is the picture behind me. Is Kyoto. Let's just get with it. I was there on Sunday.
Yes. Oh, what happened there? Something happened. I think I know what happened. There you go. You were there.
There we go. And that's like that's a rabbit. It was just a weird rabbit that I saw, so I had to put that up there.
Say weird. Now hold on. Wait. Let's just analyze the rabbit for a moment. I mean, it has a purple.
I think this is like it was like probably a sweet store, like a real chicky store that, like, you know, sweets.
What I find fascinating, sorry, and with the greatest respect, that the rabbit head does look somewhat Japanese. I mean, even the facial features, possibly the eyes, even, just suggests to me something different to a rabbit.
Come on, I'm going forward.
You're going forward. Oh, what's happened? Oh, hang on a second. Woo.
So this is was it a shrine?
Yes.
And it's called Yasaka Jinja, Yasaka Shrine.
Right.
This is a festival. This is a festival scene. Usually during festivals, they have a lot of vendors, food vendors out there. So that's what you can see here. Like there's chocolate, bananas. Here's a guy selling used kimonos on the side here. Okay, what else we got here?
Used.
Some of these things I can't know what they are. There's chopsticks, made in Japan chopsticks. What do we got here? What is this?
What was that on the left? We just passed. I don't know if
takoyaki. Takoyaki is here goes crab meat. The other one, takoyaki, was actually octopus balls. It's like a batter with octopus. So I'm just walking through really quickly here. So you know,
on that one, Jimmie.
This is the main part of the temple. There's a shrine. Main part of the shrine. Actually, each of these small buildings that you see on the left, right, are little tiny shrines. Each dedicated to a different god. This is where you can buy fortune and fortune. You know, your fortune. You can read your fortune. And now this is the main temples here. I mean, main shrines here.
Right. Wowzers.
So actually, I wanted to move on to the next one here because I actually have I had a good shot. I actually was able to take a picture, some video of an actual wedding procession that went on here.
And that's it there.
Yeah, and it's very strange that they decided to have their wedding on this day, because this is a 3-day weekend. It's called it's like Silver Week. It's like a huge, a vacation time. And and this is amid the corona pandemic, so-called pandemic. So you see everybody's wearing a mask there, but they're actually having a wedding in this shrine when half of Japan has come to the city.
You see, the thing is, it does look like it's an outdoor event. The shrine, that building.
It's only part of it. It's only part of it's only part of the wedding.
Yeah. What I mean is, though, the area where the wedding is taking place, though, is it's aerated. It's not totally indoors. So I think it's quite safe and healthy, even in a pandemic. It's like the people.
No. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about that they would have a wedding at this time on this date. It's just very funny.
Yeah.
But it was great because I got the opportunity to film it, right? So that's not bad.
Yeah, of course. No, right? I get that. But as I'm saying,
here these are little, what you call look like they're like little bit of arcs, like Ark of the Covenant deal. But this is for this is a small children's thing, and they usually have it when they're 7 years old, 5 years old, and 3 years old. Why is this back here? What's going on?
I don't know what's going on there, Jimmy. You sort your technology out, and then we can come back to it. But that looks, it's interesting. You mentioned just before you carry on.
Here we go. Come on, here we go.
You want to see more? Okay, we're watching.
This is me. This is me. I'm going to show you a few poses here. Now I'm going to go into this. Actually, I'm going to go into here. This is another shrine, and this is for entertainers. This is a shrine for no. Actually, that's not true. This is for love or meeting your person of destiny, right? So
right.
Here I'm here. Come on, switch it over. I'm gonna shoot. I got a video rolling here.
Yeah.
I actually filmed it going into it. You drop your money. Your donation into this little can here, and then you do your prayer. So this is just what do we got here? Let's go to the next one. Okay, so this is that was the end of that. That shrine? So now this is a street going up to a temple, very famous, called Kiyomizu-dera. And this is the street going up to it. So I actually took some video of this street, which I thought was very interesting. Okay, now this is the end of the street, and we're going up to the shrines. There are many shrines. There's a main shrine, but there's many, many, many shrines here. So, and people come here at this time because of the autumn leaves, the changing of the leaves. Usually it's a lot more orange, yellow, and red, but the weather has been so warm at this time that it's all green behind you, or behind me here.
Yeah, I love the hills, mountains, and
yeah. I'm gonna show you a little bit more in. I'm gonna show you. Oh, here I'm going back down the street so you get a good look. So this is from the temple grounds. This is a street leading up from the main street leading up to the temple. So these are a lot of old stores, souvenir shops, restaurants. Yeah. So
there's a store just on the left. Isn't there
just to take in this kind of feel, which is completely, it's kind of like see all the girls in kimonos. It's a special day they've come out to experience.
Yeah, but we have things like cutlery, store.
Complete different vibe from the West, obviously.
Of course, and that's exactly what I'm saying as well. What with the architecture and this store here, as I was saying, cutlery and some crockery.
Pottery, pottery, a lot of pottery.
Where's the cutlery coming up? Here it is. Yeah, look at this.
This was quite an expensive store. I didn't film too much because I didn't before they would stop me. I tried to cut it short here.
But we'll come back to that comment, actually, what you just said, just a second. What are we looking at now?
I didn't mind. I took some pictures or a video of that. Yeah. So a lot of people are coming. It's a very special day here.
Yeah.
So, and you can see how crowded it is, even among this coronavirus. So, people are not really that worried about it. They're not really that word. But here's the thing: is that
mindful is the word. You need to be mindful and aware, but don't worry, as in stress yourself out 24/7.
Well, the Japanese are a lot more quiet than other places. You know, they don't speak that much, and even the language is most of the language is spoken within a mouth, and not like, you know, in English you actually use your breath to shoot out your words. So, in actual fact, it spreads a lot, probably a lot less, just because of the way they speak is different.
Yeah, it is amazing, as we've just had commented there. It's pretty incredible stuff.
Yeah, this is pretty incredible stuff. It's really quite beautiful. You know, this is my first time.
The dragon, is that the?
It's a dragon. Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's not actual dragon. It is a dragon. It's an Asian dragon. They're called tatsu. So it's actually a mix between a deer and a dragon, or it's no, actually this is a dragon maybe. Here, what else I got here?
What have you got?
Okay, so here I took some shots of the temple here.
Let's have a look. Is it what, still photographs?
Let's have here. Let's go through a few of them here.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. This is another place where you can go into you drop some coins in, you do a prayer. There's so many different shrines, little bitty shrines in it, and each shrine is for a different purpose, whether it be love, for money, for prosperity. Okay, here's an over shot of the actual a scene from the actual the temple, you know, looking out.
It's great, isn't it? You know,
there we go.
Even on a cloudy day, and we saw there is blue sky as well. The clouds obviously.
It was a cloudy day, unfortunately.
But there was some blue sky around, and I was going to say, just even on a day like that, I get the sense it's such a great positive energy from this.
I think usually it would be a lot more orange and yellow, but the thing is, November has been so warm. It's just so warm that. It was here, and the main reason people are going here is because of the autumn leaves. But as you can see, it's all green up there.
It's lovely.
So
exactly, and on the mountainside, it is generally.
Usually it would have been a lot more red and yellow and orange, because of the warm weather. Usually the good was you get the orange and green, usually you get the orange and yellow when it suddenly becomes cold. Like it's like from warm to cold, you get like almost like a frost or something like that, and then the sun temperature will change the leaves to a yellow and orange, and that didn't happen, obviously. That was a bad one here. What else? Okay, here I'm walking within one of the temples here, through the temples. So you get a feel there, and it's all wood. You can see it's all wood. That's a big difference between the European architecture and the American architecture.
It would be made from.
The European architecture mostly you're using stone, you're using concrete. In Japan, they use a lot of wood, and so that's why a lot of things don't remain in Japan. You know, it's like it burns down, or if they're warring tribes within Japan, guess what they do? Is like the winner will burn down everything of the losers and build on top of that. While in Europe, let's say it be warring nations or states or kingdoms, they would actually take over the castle and then build. Hey, I'm going to add a garage here, but that's not the case in Japan.
This is brilliant, brilliant insight, Jimmy. I was just asking, what type of wood would they be building with around that sort of region? Any ideas?
I would be lying to you if I pretended to know.
No problem. Yeah, but it's just so it feels that much.
Look at the crowd. Look at the crowd. I'm waiting in line here. I'm waiting to get in around so I can get to the other side where you can see in the further out there. You can see further. I'm trying to get to that side over there.
Sure.
It's just a bunch of people. It's like impossible. Okay, where is this? Good luck charms, Kyoto here. So let's see.
Yep.
Yeah, I hear here. They're selling. You can see how you see my pointer here. You're selling good luck charms here. I will show you what some of those. These are a bunch of small temples, and each one means it's something different. This is you rub this luck for good luck for something. I can't remember if it was love or for money. And each one of these separate ones here. You're supposed to touch this guy and get good luck. Yeah,
touch a guy and get good luck.
Love stone, his stomach. Yeah, here. Here goes a love stone here, right?
Well, who is he then? Professor Love?
This stone is called Love Fortune Telling Stone. If you walk safely from this stone to the other with your eyes closed, for once your wish will be granted soon. If you can't, it will be long before your love is realized. And it is said taking advice requires you to have someone who will help you achieve your love.
Sure.
Yeah, this is the stone. This is the actual stone. So here's more. There's like, these are little tiny, shrines? Little tiny shrines. Each one has a different meaning. Here, fulfillment of various wishes. So each one has a. Here, let me see if I got. How far am I going here?
Yeah, as has been commented there, Jimmy, the architecture, it does have such intricacies, and it's very fine, isn't it, and detailed and.
Sure. Yeah. This stuff. This place is. Well, let me give you an idea of the age of it. It's called Kiyomizudera. Kiyomizudera. So Kiyomizudera was. Let's see where it's from. It was founded in 780. So we're talking AD.
780. So just a few years ago.
So it's like, it's over 1,200 years old. The original. Of course, there's been things that have been added.
Again, it's fascinating to a lot of people, particularly in the West, because, or certainly in North American continent, it's no comparison when it comes to the age and the history.
Okay, here. This I'll show you later. Mine. This is mine actually. I'm getting this signed. Each temple and shrine I go to, I get it. It's stamped and signed for that day when I visited. And see the things in the front here. These things in the front there are fortunes for like traffic safety or to pass your exam or whatever it is. So this is I actually videoed this person doing this for me.
Mm-hmm.
Usually they're not allowed. You're not allowed to take a video, but for some reason I didn't show her face. And this was a woman who did it. And see, they stamp it here.
It's amazing how they're drawing that, with a brush and writing the Japanese characters.
Yeah, so I will show you my book later. I mean,
they just closed the book, but they've only just written it. So had it dried the ink?
They put a piece of paper in there. They put a piece of paper.
Right. Well, yeah, I got you. Right. Yeah.
There's a little Buddhist thing. Oh, that's me. There you go.
Oh, there he is.
Okay, see, look here. You can look. I'm on the other side. Remember, I was waiting in line at the other side there. Now I'm on the other side here.
Do you see that? Look.
It's on wooden stilts. You see all this? The whole building is on wooden stilts.
Is that? Yeah, but is it? You look like scaffolding there to the side.
Yeah, it's like scaffolding. It's kind of like Venice, like built on like.
See, there's a tower in the distance. But just you got
that is Kyoto Tower. That's a Kyoto TV tower.
Away, Jimmy. Mouse is spoiling the view. Oh goodness. Maybe we can.
What is spoiling the view?
The cursor of your mouse on the screen. You see the arrow. Well,
you can go to Google and look up Kiyomizudera and you'll find some.
As good as those videos that you've shot. They're just fascinating, absolutely amazing.
This is what I had for. Was it a lunch?
You're making me hungry.
There we
now.
go. This is what I had for lunch.
Now I recognize the lemon, but that's about it.
Now here we go.
What have you got there?
Oh, what am I doing here? There we go. This is a fish on soba noodles.
Which noodles? You broke up then.
Soba. This is soba noodles.
Right. I think it was my connection. What's the green towards the top of it then?
That is onions.
Okay,
onions,
so we've got
chopped
onions green up there, along with the fish and noodles, and just underneath the fish there we have.
Well, this is made out of fish too, but this is was it a Pacific herring?
Right.
A Pacific herring, and it's prepared a certain way. So that's what I had for lunch.
I would like to try Pacific herring because I know that I enjoy the herring over in this part of the world.
This is I'm in the city now. Here, this is Kimetsu no Yaiba, which is a very popular comic book in Asia right now.
Okay. Anime.
Was it and it's a popular movie, comic book, anime. And what happened? Was it a kabuki theater?
Just hang on that picture there for me for a second, because I've just noticed something. There's a comment that you might want to pick up on there on your screen. But I've just noticed, yeah, keep that picture there. What's is this cooked fish?
No, it's cooked fish. It's cooked fish. It's actually probably like cooked and fermented or something like that. It's like, yeah, not sushi. Sushi is raw fish, so that's completely no.
If we could just hold on that picture though, because I just want to go back to it. It's just, of course, I would notice it, but I just do see the first number of all numbers.
Okay, we got that. 11. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, this is a kabuki theater. This has become so popular, this anime, that this is actually a kabuki theater, like a Japanese theater.
Yes.
So, yeah, there you go.
How far away from where we were looking just a moment ago, the temple?
Probably was it a 30-minute walk. This is inside Kyoto City, not the old part of the city, but the actual, the modern part of the city.
Sure. How did you travel up? First of all, I mean, you traveled how? From home, you traveled.
So you can see there's a mix of old European buildings. You're talking about the end of the 19th century here, mixed with end of 19th century, beginning of 20th century, mixed with old Japan.
Yes.
And Kyoto, like, you won't find a city like this in other parts of Japan, is because this was on the western side of Japan. It wasn't bombed to hell during World War II, so it survived. And it took some birds at the river.
I was going to say a pose from a local bird. Yep.
Local birds.
Let's see if the river isn't too deep at the moment. There's like a weir. That's like a weir, we call it.
Is that what they're called? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, the river didn't look too deep.
Here we go. I'm going to show you here. I'm going to walk. This is from the old. I'm doing the river. I'm giving you a river scene here. So these are like old buildings that are facing out to the river. So a lot of them are restaurants or places to stay.
Yes. You can see it's a bit more, should we say, industrialized? If I can say the word industrialized, there.
These are old. A lot of them are old buildings, but a lot of new have been added here.
Of course, but it's no comparison, obviously, to where we were looking at the shrine earlier on. That's a different. You can certainly tell. Obviously, it's a completely different part of Japan.
Absolutely. But it's still some of the old part of the city remains.
But you still see there. This color. That's interesting. Now I've picked up on this. Now consciously, I've worked out again because I was saying to you earlier on before we went live how
kimonos there again.
Is that a restaurant?
Let's give you a sense of the city there.
But I just figured out before you go on to your next picture.
Here we go.
He's got onto his next picture.
Here we go. This is the old street, very small old street here.
Right.
This is very old. These are very expensive restaurants. I would say not all of them, but a lot of high-end restaurants. This is where the nightlife goes on. So this is during the day. So most of these places are closed. They're prepping. But I thought I would just walk through it to give you kind of a feel of what it feels like. This is the old Kyoto kind of deal.
It's pretty amazing that I can relate that to an area of London, an area of Belgium, Brussels.
A lot of course, you're talking about an era before cars, so obviously the streets are a lot smaller.
How about an era before something that isn't too prevalent, thankfully, in Japan at the moment, which is obesity? It's a big thing in England at the moment, I tell you, but with fast food and everything. But you can clearly see that these streets were made for people that are more like stick insects than big Texans, shall we say, that we see from all the media that we watch. It's that looked a pretty exclusive store.
A little store there.
Umbrellas. Now, the actual umbrella. Well, they're more.
Actual umbrellas.
Oh, they are not. Right. Okay. I didn't know if they were just for shade, but they are also used for when it rains.
And there's a jazz here. There's a jazz bar.
You must know that well.
No, I just walked past it.
No, well, I was alluding obviously to Jimmie Heaven's jazz vocals. I have to hear those.
Yeah, we did that for a while.
You love it though. You should do more of it because I know you enjoy it very much. Hopefully you'll have more in the future. Yeah.
Okay, so we're
Brilliant.
coming to the end here. Why did I take? Oh, this was a picture in the subway that I just had to take because it's a sewer man. He's battling the big evil dragon, and I just had it. I had to take. Oh, there goes toward the end of my night. This is Kyoto, heading to Kyoto Station. This is Kyoto Tower, and I
Is
think
that what I
this,
was referring to earlier on when I could see it from the
that's
mountain?
right. That's right. This is
Wasn't
Kyoto Station.
That's really almost surreal. The fact that I picked up on what you've actually focused on, literally. Oh wow! Yeah,
Why is this coming? Why is this back here?
because you selected it.
I think we're coming to this is Kyoto Station, and that I guess that's it. And that is it.
Wow, fascinating stuff.
Yeah, so that was a little bit of my trip.
Invaluable insight. Thank you so much for doing that, for spending the time just to, and you just get a sense much more from the video than still pictures or just talking about it. It's amazing. I almost, obviously I wasn't there, but I felt I could just reach out and no, it was brilliant.
Hopefully my camera works improve with time. Improves with time
already. And the thing is, I mean, I'm at the back of my mind, I'm very excited to know that one day, sooner rather than later, when things are certainly a bit better when it comes to transportation and travel, I'll head in a more easterly direction. And I can't.
Sure.
No, I appreciate that. But yeah, to actually see it in advance, it's like reading a travel book. You're going to Canada, so you pick up a book all about Canada and you make notes of where you're going to go. But to see this and know, wow, that's where I've got to go, want to go to shop, to see, experience. Yeah, brilliant stuff. And hopefully people will be picking up on this if they haven't been joining us live on the replay, because well, it's going to be beneficial to a lot of people, this sort of insight. So
I've been very lucky to be able to travel during this time. Yes, Brenda, thank you. You're welcome. Yeah. I've been, I maybe, people will be, oh my God, how dare you be traveling during this pandemic? But yeah, it was a chance. And actually, this is not so far away from where I am. And you could see it was very crowded.
You've got to be sensible, as we were saying, and mindful, and you're wearing masks. It's fine when you have to, but you can't. Sorry to just be so negative, but it is poignant. It's a bit like, sadly, the terrorism that's taking place around the world over recent years and has become a bit more prolific in certain areas. The terrorists want to just curtail your travel. They want to disrupt your life, just like a pandemic, really.
And the government's the ones who's causing all this terrorism. That's the worst part.
Well, that's another topic, but yeah, I understand what you're saying there. So you've just got to be sensible, take the precautions you need to ensure your safety, and get on with life. Otherwise, we'll all be just sitting in a bubble for the rest of our days and not living, surviving. We can't be doing that for too long. Yeah. Well, as I say, absolutely brilliant stuff there, Jimmie. And again, you moved on, but luckily there's a photograph in your background which is very poignant about what I'm going to say. Only a small thing, but no, we could see it was perfect as you were sitting there for me to say. Yeah. Okay, Jimmie's decided to just take a little back seat there, but yeah, thank you for the photo. You can come back into vision now, Jimmie, because we could see what.
Oh, you were going to talk about the photo.
Oh, you didn't know which part of the photo I was about to mention, which is the
roof.
Actually, it's the facade on the front there to your right, over your right shoulder. And it was the fact when he showed us the city, and I said to myself, and I mentioned, it's a Japanese town still, even though you're not in the mountains. I realized consciously for one of the first times, because I'm analyzing it now consciously, what's the ongoing regular theme here, and it's that color red. That red was slatey red. Yeah, that's a very Japanese red color. Now I'm intrigued.
Chinese use it too a lot.
Yeah, but we're talking Japan here, and I'm interested to know where that originates from. Why red? I mean, a lot of certainly from many hundreds of years ago, red was a popular color because they used to mix earthy substances, if not earth, then maybe some bark from trees, and that's sort of what you get. It's much easier than getting blue out of natural.
And also December.
December, did you say?
Yeah, Christmas, red.
Of course. Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, we can go that route if you want to. But it's very, that's what I mean. If you showed us that and it was not painted red and it was in a city, it just wouldn't resonate as much. You know, the correlation between what you're showing us in the mountains, the tradition, and more up to date. Jimmie, it is time to say goodbye to everyone for another week. And I want to thank you for the input when it comes to all the multimedia, certainly the pictures, but even more so the video. That was pretty awesome stuff.
We got more coming. We got more coming. If everything goes well and we can make it happen, we got more coming.
Absolutely. If people want to follow us and you make sure you're connected down there somewhere, where is it? It's more, if I point like that on this shot, there you go. At the bottom of the screen, it's about to disappear. But if you don't want to miss our live broadcast, share, like, follow, and subscribe on the various channels as well. You won't miss a thing. You'll receive a notification next time we go live, etc., etc., etc. And yeah, you will very
Thank
much
you
enjoy being a part of this as it grows. Oh, you're just having a little private one there, Jimmie, are you? A little conversation with... Oh, you're responding to the comment that was on the screen right now.
Yeah, I tried to, yeah.
Yeah, always a pleasure indeed. I do hope that everyone across the planet, however you're, if you are, celebrating and enjoying...
Thanksgiving weekend in America. Peace,
as
love and peace.
So anyone across the planet that is in some way continuing an extended Thanksgiving, yeah, and of course it's as we said, Black Friday, where everyone's up for a bargain, and it seems that Black Friday goes on longer than Friday anyway. Cyber Monday, of course, we nearly forgot that one. Just got it in there in time. But yeah, we'll be interested to see next week what you've bought, Jimmie, if anything along the way. And
you too.
Yeah, absolutely. So once again, from Jimmie, it's... Oh, peace out, was that, Jimmie? Is that what it is? A peace out?
I'm responding.
Are you responding to...
I'm doing was it a Winston Churchill.
Right, lovely, excellent stuff.
Right,
as always, a unique look into the mind of, well, Jimmie Heaven, indirectly, but kind of very much connected when it comes to all things Japan, certainly culturally, but also on the politics side, when it's connected to just across the Pacific to where he is.
We're trying not to talk about that.
Yeah, well, I was not asking for any further comments, but not a problem if there are. Thank you, Jimmie. We'll speak very soon with you.
Yes, we will. You have a good night. You have a good day. Have a good morning, everybody.
We will. Thank you very much. That's Jimmie Heaven. I think he's muted now. Is that right? Yeah, now he's off the screen. And we are going to say goodbye. As always, please do like, share, follow. I hope you've enjoyed everything as much as I have here, everyone, today on our, wow, getting on, look at that, 1 hour 45-ish that we've been here for. As always, until next time, stay safe. And I look forward to you joining us with the chat, because you can, when we're broadcasting live. Until next time, though, from me, from Jimmie Heaven, as he said, it's goodbye, and thanks for watching ShineCast.